So today I'm in Canoa, Ecuador. Canoa is my favorite beach town in Ecuador. I hope you guys can hear me over the wind. It's really been blowing. It's nice because it's not too hot when the wind blows like this, but it makes it hard to record a video. So I'm gonna explain a little bit about Canoa, why it's my favorite beach town, why there are so many expats that have moved here. This is, in my opinion, a good expat city in Ecuador, and also talk a little bit about its history, what's gone on here. Right now, there's not a lot of tourism. Canoa's had a couple setbacks, and it's made things a little slow here. So I'm gonna talk about all that in this video and show you around. Here we go. So I looked it up online, and Canoa says it's about 6,800 people, but I think that's really including a lot of the rural areas around Canoa and not the town itself. The town looks and feels a lot smaller than that. It's just a quiet little surf town. I like to think of it as a calmer, smaller version of Montañita. It's got a little bit of the same party vibe and that same, surf town vibe, but it's not so out of control and packed with tourists the way Montañita is. It's like Montañita 15, 20 years ago. The surf's a little smaller, and there aren't any big discotheques or anything like that here. It's just a little more laid back, a little more chill, and quite frankly, way more awesome. I love this town, and I'm going to show you around a little bit, and hopefully you'll love this town too.
Canoa hasn't lost its roots. It still has a fleet of working fishing boats. But because it's evolved into a tourist town, they've done some smart things that some other towns in Ecuador have failed to do, like set up garbage cans on the beach so that there isn't trash everywhere.
Notice that they've raised the garbage cans up off the ground so the dogs don't get into them. This is the off-season in Canoa. This is not the tourist season, and the weather is the reason why. It is gray and cloudy and a little bit cooler than the tourist season. Personally, I like it better when it's like this, but I'm in the minority. Many of the fishermen really aren't men at all. Many of the fishermen are kids. Here you see a group of young boys taking a boat out to go fishing. It amazes me how these kids are able to handle such dangerous work. Just watch. April of 2016, Canoa had a devastating earthquake. It was centered just a little bit north of here, but Canoa, the building styles here weren't great, and it really damaged this town and damaged the tourism in the town, and the place hasn't fully recovered. In addition to that, Ecuador had a problem with some riots and protests earlier this year, in October, concerning an IMF loan that people were not happy about. And it scared off a lot of international tourists. Now, things have gone back to normal, but not everyone's gotten the message, and so tourism is way down this year. And what that means is all over Ecuador, and especially in little towns that rely so heavily on tourism like Canoa, people are struggling. People are really having a hard time getting by this year. But while the tourism sector is struggling and the locals in the town they're really having a tough year, expats continue to move here. It still is a great expat location because of the wide open beaches, great climate, great food, and very low cost of living. The surf was pretty small this day. In fact, I think it's pretty much off this time of year. The famous Surf Shack. This is one of the original expat-owned businesses in town. And my favorite spot to hang out in the evenings and get a drink is the Sookie Bar. This place is just awesome. Really good service and great people. A place called Rio Muchacho, about 20 minutes out of town, that is a really amazing eco-farm. Basically, it's a place to take kids to connect with nature and organic farming. Here's the bus schedules. As you can see, there's several buses each day going both north and south.
El único check aquí en Manabi, especializado y preparado con todas las de leyes, ¿ok? Aquí vienes a comer la buena carne, la buena chuleta, el pollo, el chicken, el pescado, la longaniza, la costilla, de todos, etc. Perfecto.
I forgot to take a photo or a video before I started digging into it, but yeah, this is why I keep coming back here. Awesome ají also, really good.
This guy's the real deal. This is my favorite spot right now to eat in Canoa. Really good food and not a bad price at all. It's I've been coming here every day on this trip. Yeah, it's awesome. You know a place is good when all the buses stop and the bus drivers order a meal to go as they're passing.
Para tu esposa ese, ¿para qué?
On this trip, I stayed in Hotel Cabanas Ruta del Sol. And I don't know if it's always this inexpensive for this place, because it really was a very nice place. But it was only $10 a night for a private room with great Wi-Fi and a pool and basically everything I could want. Though there was some construction. Another one of the original expat-owned businesses in Canoa. This is the Bamboo Restaurant and Hotel. One of the better restaurants. I've never stayed in the hotel, but I think it's actually a pretty nice hotel.
So that's Canoa. Taking a last little walk through town before I hop in the car and drive back to Quito. But I hope you enjoyed the place, and hope you'll come visit sometime. This town could really use more people discovering the place and helping it recover a little bit. Later.